Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to WNKX Live on YouTube for your presentation of high school basketball. And it has been a phenomenal last couple of weeks as we have covered the district tournament and the regional tournament, and all the work that these teams have been putting on comes to a head here tonight. And tonight is your girls' regional championship game between the Cheatham County Lady Cubs and the Stewart County Lady Rebels. So if you are tuning in tonight and you're a fan of Stewart County or Cheatham, we welcome you. Or maybe you're a neutral fan and you just want to see some good basketball, well, I can assure you, you will get some here tonight, as both of these teams are immensely talented. They have walked a long and arduous road to get where they are here tonight to determine their fate in the sub-state. Now, Cam, a winner here tonight will host the sub-state game, but the loser will have to go on the road, which, of course, in postseason basketball at the high school level, never a fun time. Now, it's been an absolute privilege for us to host this regional tournament. Of course, we are live here in J.E. Siska Memorial at Hickman County High School, and we have seen a lot of good basketball. Now, I want to revisit the road these teams have taken. The last time these teams were on the floor, the Stewart County Lady Rebels, they faced off against the East Hickman Lady Eagles, and they were victorious 53-38. Now, the Cheatham County Lady Cubs, they faced off against Huntington, and they were victorious 59-49. And it was a phenomenal ball game, a barn burner, a nail biter, whatever other descriptor you want to give it, it lived up to it. So Cam, I expect to see more of the same here tonight. A lot of high-level ball will be played. But Cam, I want to talk first about this Cheatham County team. We know how dominant they've been. Of course, both of these teams were winners in their respective districts. But Cam, Cheatham County, when they're on their game, we haven't seen a team better. But there is a condition to that, when they're on their game. We know they had a ball game against Camden, who came in 12-16, and Cheatham escaped by only 3 points in a very low-scoring affair, 30-27. So I think for Stewart County, if they play their game, we might have ourselves a tight one.
Yeah, Josh, I just finished off my energy drink. I'm ready to go. I can't wait to watch some high school basketball right now. Now, speaking on the Lady Cubs of Cheatham Central, I mean, like we talked about, they are one of the most complete teams that we've watched all year. As a unit, their chemistry is absolutely through the roof. They are play in such a perfectly in sync way that you typically don't see out of high school girls teams. But Josh, as you said, they have to bring their A game because Stewart County brings versatility. Each rotation that they put out on the floor gives you a different look. It doesn't matter who's on the floor, they're going to do a lot of little things well. And that's something that really stood out to me the other night in their game, was that they just consistently did the little things to keep East Hickman out of that basketball game. So, Josh, it's going to be a battle of doing the little things tonight.
And both student sections have showed up and have showed out for both of these schools. Of course, a pretty decent drive for both. Of course, Stewart County about 2 hours from here, Cheatham County a little over an hour. So all the respect in the world for these students for supporting their fellow classmates on the floor here tonight in this regional championship game.
Now, Josh, for all those out there wondering where Stewart County student section is, I know it is difficult to see them. It might not look like they're there, but they are in camouflage. So everyone out there, I assure you they are here. They're just hard to see.
Thank you for that clarification, Cam. And these two teams, loud, proud, and ready to go, as we are just about ready to go here on WNKX. We'll take a brief break, and we'll be right back for tip-off. Don't go anywhere.
Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Tavern style pizza is our thing.
Why couldn't you be happy with deep dish like all the tourists? That's good.
And you just had to make it so crispy and delicious.
It's perfection.
They put the toppings all the way to the edge.
It's cut in the shareable square.
That's delicious.
What's your deal, Pizza Hut?
Your secret's out, Chicago. Try any of our large Chicago tavern-style recipes for just $12 each.
Hey, Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Sorry, Chicago. No one out pizzas the Hut.
Apology accepted.
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you have found the channel smoothly as we are excited to bring you this regional championship game here tonight. I'm Josh Copley alongside my broadcast colleague Cameron Peters, and this broadcast is brought to you by the Stewart County Farm Bureau office. Our thanks are extended to Ben Cash for his support of the stream. And just a reminder, your matchup here tonight is between Montana Lee and the Cheatham County Lady Cubs versus McKaylee Wallace and the Stewart County Lady Rebels. So both of these teams gel so well, a lot of chemistry on both sides, and this game could be a toss-up. Of course, Cam, as we mentioned, we saw the Stewart County team for the first time this season just a few days ago, and can we talk a lot about this Cheatham County team's fusion and their chemistry. I mean, if you look at Stewart County, though, they look just as cohesive, if not more.
Yeah, Josh, absolutely. You know, at this point in the season, they've really found their stride as a team, and obviously that's a good sign because it's got them this far, and I think they'll continue to play at a super high level. What I'm going to look for tonight is to see what Stewart County does to limit so Cheatham County plays a lot of motion-based offense. What defense is Stewart County going to come out in? Are they going to show us a surprise? Because they played man all last game, so I'm interested to watch the coaching tonight.
As am I, Cam. Now both of these teams, Stewart County enters in with 25 wins on the year, Cheatham with 27. So both very successful schools, but only one can be regional champion. And the tip-off is underway, and it'll be Cheatham County with possession to start as Montana Lee brings it up the floor for the Lady Cubs.
And Josh, it looks that Stewart County is in a zone. It looks like it's a variation of a 3-2. It's Montana Lee.
Knocks down the three.
And Josh, if you've ever watched a Cheatham County game, you know that is the player to watch out for. Montana Lee is a monster.
Now Cheatham Stewart trying to answer back. Wallace gives, the ball gets away, heading out of bounds, and Wallace gets the save. A very athletic save there by McKaylee Wallace. So
yeah,
Stewart
Josh.
looking to reset.
Yeah, great save there by that young lady.
And Dacus shoots it high off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Weekly, and a fast jump ball is called. And Cam, someone whose name we haven't mentioned yet, who I feel like we should, is number 14 of Cheatham County, Gracie Bell Weekly. When they were facing off against Huntington, their main offensive attack was Weekly from inside the paint, hitting those mid-range twos.
Yeah, Josh, and right there, Cheatham County, great defense, making Stewart County cause the turnover with a 5-second. But
Cheatham
yeah,
starting
Josh,
off hot here tonight.
Josh, to your point, Gracie Bell Weekly, she's been one of Cheatham's top scorers all season, so I expect to see her high in the score column as well.
Lee looking for help, finds Mitchell, swings to Orange. Now back to Mitchell. Dribbles left, back over to Orange, back to Mitchell. Lee, right wing. Tries to go wing to wing, but it's knocked away. It's Angie Nelson with the takeaway. Now she's in the right corner. Gives Dacus at the right wing.
And Josh, that's something that Stewart County's really good at, is getting in the passing lanes. When you make long passes against them, we saw East try it a couple of times the other night, and it didn't work out well.
Driving in. Nelson goes out up top. Driving is Newman off the glass, gets the tough two. And now, Cam, we can talk about how elite McKaylee Wallace was shooting from three for Stewart County, but Jalen Newman was certainly one of their more consistent ball players.
Yeah, Josh, absolutely. I mean, she was super effective all night, just giving East Hickman all kinds of problems. I mean, if you look at the box score the other night, you could just tell this Stewart County team, nobody had a ton of points, but everybody just plays a good brand of basketball.
And a nice defensive play there by number 21, the senior Angie Nelson, swatting it out of bounds. It will stay with the Lady Cubs, though. Mitchell to Orange, tries from three. Off the mark, no good. And an attempted save there by Georgia Hunter, but she tips it to the arms of a Lady Rebel.
Now, Josh, Cheatham County's in a man-to-man defense right now, and they're not really pushing anybody to do any one particular thing. They're just playing solid right now, and you see that a lot from Cheatham County early in games.
And Hunter gets an arm on the pass, but Wallace secures it. Corner three, no good, off the mark. Shot attempted by Nelson. It's Weekly who comes up with it. Tries to hand it off to Montana Lee, and it goes out of bounds. And the official initially signaled Stewart County ball, but had a change of heart there as he points the other direction, Cheatham ball.
Yeah, Josh, the baseline ref there overruled, going Cheatham County's way.
So Lee gives the corner, it's Weekly, guarded closely by Wallace. Now gives Mitchell, drives. Mid-range two, off the mark. No! It gets a favorable bounce and it falls in, keeping us all in suspense.
And Josh, of course, we're typically watching Hickman County games, and this year, in the regular season matchup, Sydney Mitchell, not a lot of mid-range shots, but in the district tournament and the region tournament, she's been all over the mid-range.
And it's a loose ball picked up by Mitchell. Hands to Lee, left side. Lee goes across the way to Orange. Now to Mitchell, top of the key. And that vintage Weekly mid-range two is no good. She gets her own rebound. And the ball is knocked out of bounds by Stewart, and it will stay with Cheatham. Lee gets it out to Mitchell up top. She pulls up from three, and she got it. So a pair of threes early in this ball game for Cheatham, one by Montana Lee, the other just now by Sydney Mitchell. And Stewart looking to answer back as they trail by 6, 8-2 with 4 minutes to play in this first quarter.
And Josh, you know, Cheatham County doesn't typically shoot a ton of threes, as there's an air ball there from Stewart County heading Cheatham County's way.
So Dacus, usually so effective from underneath, couldn't get it to go that time. Orange, left wing, gives up top to Mitchell.
But as I was saying, Josh, outside of
and Georgia Hunter was looking for Mitchell up top, but overthrown there, and it goes out of bounds, and we'll go back to Stewart County.
Josh, the two young ladies from Cheatham County, Mitchell and Lee, that have made the threes are ones that we typically don't see take the most amount of threes from Cheatham County. So them knocking it down definitely is a sign for good things offensively tonight for them.
And Newman was looking for Nelson in that corner, but it's knocked out of bounds by Orange. So it will be Nelson throwing it in. Now a three from Wallace off the mark, but the rebound by Stewart put back also no good, and it's Weekly that comes up with it. Cheatham down the floor, Weekly goes up. The shot is no good, wouldn't have counted anyway, as the charge is called against Gracie Bell Weekly.
Yeah, great job there by McKaylee Wallace, just setting up there, knew she had way too much momentum and had a defender on her hip, so it's either she's going through her or pulling up for an awkward jumper. Great job there to make her force a decision and get that charge call.
So Newman up the floor. Hands off to Nelson. Nelson inside the arc, back bounce pass out to Dacus. She drives, puts it up. It's good, count it. And one for Faith Dacus.
And Josh, we saw that a couple of times the other night. Dacus drive in and hit kind of a hook / floater shot a couple of times the other night. It worked out every time she tried it, and tonight we see her do it again. So that might be a shot for her to watch, because it's almost impossible to block that.
And Dacus completes the three-point play as she sinks the free throw. It's under 3 minutes to play. Stewart trails by 3, 8-5 in this regional championship game, live from Hickman County High School. Lee tries from three. Can't knock it down. Rebounded by Nominee Bridges. Now it's Newman near the logo, running the offense for the Lady Rebels. Wallace up top, gives left to Bridges. Bounce pass, Nelson guarded by Orange, looking for help and finds Bridges beyond the arc. Now Dacus over to the right. Quick pass, Nelson inside, spins. The shot is up, no good. Rebounded by Orange.
I like the take there But the double from Cheatham was huge just to get an extra person with a contest there. Great job defensively rotating there.
Now it's Lee near the left wing, gives up top to Mitchell. Lee fires into Weekly, tries to float it to Hunter on the back cut, too tall, and it sails out of bounds. Stewart will take over following the turnover.
And Josh, you know, all night I have seen some really good ideas from both teams on offense. Just the execution right now is not where it needs to be.
And a lot of quick passes, and Bridges sitting underneath the basket gets a 2 off the glass.
And of course, as soon as I say it, a perfectly executed offensive possession.
We've seen that far too many times, Cam. Orange, left side, gives up to Mitchell, pulls up from the parking lot, no good. Rebounded by Nelson. Nelson trying to fight her way out of traffic and does down the right side. Fires, Wallace in the paint, Bridges again. Tries to go up, no good, gets the own rebound, and the second try finds the mark.
And Josh, just no box out from anybody on Cheatham County right there, getting an extra possession for the Lady Rebels.
And with under a minute to play in our first quarter, the Lady Rebels find themselves in the lead. Weekly, quickly, Hunter, mid-range 2, no good, swatted out of bounds, and it will stay with the Lady Cubs.
And Josh, that's been a shot that Georgia Hunter has made quite a bit in the district tournament and here in the region tournament. Comes up short there, but if I'm that young lady, I'm going to continue to shoot that.
Wallace and Bridges subbing out for Stewart County. Cook and Bizagno in. Mitchell gives Ellie Mayo, who has just recently entered into this game for Georgia Hunter. Lee, right corner, dribbles inside the arc, looking for help, and finds Mayo under 30 seconds to play in the first quarter.
And Josh, you know, the slow, monotonous passing right now for Cheatham County.
Mayo tries from 3 off the glass, no good. Well contested, and what a save by Stewart. Looking for help is Dacus, and finds Newman under 10 seconds. Newman inside the arc gives. Cook has her shot blocked by Lee.
And Josh, how many times have we seen Montana Lee block shots this year? I don't know what it is, but she's always in the right place to come up with a block shot.
So 3.7 seconds. Stewart looking for some points to cap off the quarter. Looking for help, lets it fly, but not before the 5-second violation is called. So Cheatham now with a chance to get a bucket before the quarter is in.
And Josh, let me tell you this. He is not letting any more than 5 go
Weekly
off.
lets it fly. The shot no good, misses to the right. And that brings the first quarter to an end. And what an exciting one it was. Your score at the end of 1. Cheatham County 8, Stewart County 9. We'll be right back.
Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Tavern-style pizza is our thing.
Why couldn't you be happy with deep dish like all the tourists? That's good.
And you just had to make it so crispy and delicious.
It's perfection.
They put the toppings all the way to the edge.
It's cutting the shareable square.
That's delicious.
What's your deal, Pizza Hut?
Your secret's out, Chicago. Try any of our large Chicago tavern-style recipes for just $12 each.
Hey, Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Sorry, Chicago. No one out pizza's the Hut.
Apology accepted.
And welcome back to WNKX Live on YouTube. I'm Josh Copley alongside Cameron Peters. We are here at Hickman County High School for the Region Championship Final for the girls. We're seeing the Stewart County Lady Rebels face off against the Cheatham County Lady Cubs in a game that has been back and forth as Stewart County recently took the lead 9-8, and we are underway with the second quarter of play. Orange at the left wing. Of course, the Lady Cubs starting off this quarter with possession. Mayo gives Lee, right elbow. The shot is no good, rebounded by Weekly. The putback no good, but she's fouled and will head to the line.
Yeah, Josh, and for Weekly to get that rebound in between 2 defenders is really big there. Cheatham County is somebody that is a team that has, it's not a fast offense, but it's a really, typically they get a shot off within 15 seconds, right? It's pretty quick. They come down the court. They go boom, boom, boom with a pass. Well, right now, Stewart County's zone is making them stall. If Cheatham wants to succeed, as they go 0 for 2 at the line.
So Weekly unable to knock down either free throw. Stewart got the rebound, but a whistle blows. And they'll get number 44, Nominee Bridges, on the foul.
But Josh, if Cheatham County wants to succeed against this zone, they need to do one of two things. Get the ball in the middle like they just did, or flatten out the zone by getting the ball on the baseline. They haven't done a good job of that.
Orange up top gives Mitchell at the right wing. Now back up top, swings over to Mayo. Mayo has her pass blocked, but she comes back up with the loose ball. Now Mitchell at the right side. Gives to Lee, right elbow, out. Mayo from 3. No good. Wallace gets the rebound for Stewart County.
And that possession looked a lot better there for the Cheatham County offense. The shot just didn't go down, but this Stewart County zone is just making them really uncomfortable.
Newman up top for the Lady Rebels. Hands off. It's Nelson who gives to Dacus. Now she drives into the paint. That mid-range shot off the glass, and it falls. An acrobatic play by Faith Dacus.
And Josh, that is the shot that she has continued to hit over and over. And if I'm Cheatham, I'm now trying to cut off her driving lane, but if I'm Dacus, I'm looking for it.
Bounce pass to Lee, gets out to Mitchell from 3, and she sinks it. Mitchell's second 3 of the night, her 8th point of the game.
Josh, I got to give credit where credit's due. Both of these teams defensively have done a lot to make the other offense uncomfortable. Neither team has been able to settle in, and it's, good basketball to watch.
Wallace, catch release 3, no good. Rebounded by Mitchell. And she flies down the floor, but slows up and decides to run the offense, gives to Lee, back to Mitchell. Goes back over to Lee.
And Josh, Cheatham County, it needs to be careful of those long passes. Stewart County is trying to get them to throw those so they can run out and with a steal. They are a very good team at baiting them into do that, any team doing that, so they got to watch it.
And Orange snipes a long distance 3. That's Orange's first bucket of the night. We expect to see a lot more from that young lady, as she has been so effective this year from beyond the 3-point line.
Yeah, Josh, she struggled the last couple of games we've watched her, but she is shooting with the confidence that she can make anything.
Wallace gives out to the corner. It's Nelson, spins in. Shot denied by Orange, but it will stay with Stewart County as Carly Bazagno checking back in for the Lady Rebels. Bridges coming out. It'll be Newman throwing in from the baseline. Finds Dacus, right corner 3. No good, off the mark. It's a scrap, and Mayo comes up with it. She gives to Lee, and now Montana bolting down the floor.
And Josh, I honestly really like that take there from Dacus. She's seen the...
And Wallace gets a hand on it, tries to save it, but it goes right to Gracie Bell Weekly. Drives off the glass, no good, loose ball. And it's a scrap, and a jump ball is called. And the possession arrow will favor Stewart County.
And Josh, a little bit of a scrap there inside, but you love to see it. This game matters, and you can feel it in the air right now. The combination between the two student sections and just this game as it is.
And Bazagno couldn't knock down the mid-range 2 as it rolls out. Now it's Cheatham on the offensive. Mitchell fires to Hunter. And that's Georgia Hunter the pass was intended for, who has just checked in recently for Ellie Mayo. And it's tipped out of bounds by Stewart, so it will stay with Cheatham as a timeout is called on the floor. And folks, during this timeout, I want to remind you that this broadcast is brought to you by the Stewart County Farm Bureau office. Our thanks go to Ben Cash for his support of this stream. So Cam, we've seen this game go back and forth. It sits at 14-11. Cheatham County with a 3-point lead. What are you looking to see more of from these two teams?
Well, from Stewart County, I want to see an offense where you swing the ball a little more. They're a drive-heavy team, and I like that. I mean, you want to get the ball inside. Being said, get the ball inside by passing it, because they've passed really well out of the post so far. I've noticed that. It's only happened 3 or 4 times, but when the ball's down there, they pass really well out of it. So I would look to do that more.
And Lee inbounds out to Mitchell after our timeout. She pump fakes the 3 and now drives, has it stripped from her. And now it's Stewart on the offensive. Driving is Dacus. The shot is no good again, denied by Emmy Orange. And Cam, we know Orange is known for her three-point shooting ability, but she has been paying dividends for this team on defense.
Yeah, Josh, you're absolutely right. And it doesn't just go for her. I mean, every girl out on the floor is playing incredible defense so far tonight.
So the ball will stay with the Lady Rebels. Nelson gives to Newman. Now Wallace up top, gives over to Dacus. Nelson spins into the paint, steps up. The shot is off the mark and rebounded by Weekly. And Newman not giving up on the play in the face of Montana Lee, but Cheatham now driving down the floor. Mitchell driving inside, just outside the paint. Shot no good, knocked out of bounds, and it will stay with Cheatham.
Yeah, and I really like that take there from Mitchell. She shot well in the mid-range, but, you know, you got to keep shooting.
And Newman cuts off the pass, tries to run it down, but can't save it. And it will stay with Cheatham. And Cam, to your point earlier, these Lady Rebels are so good at baiting Cheatham into those long-distance passes, and they are on it. In the blink of an eye, they are in between.
And Josh, is it working out right now? Not necessarily, but if you continue to do it and do it well, it will pay off. Whether that comes in the next 20 seconds or in the second half. If you continue to do good things will happen. So if they continue to do this, good things will happen.
Mitchell sinks another 3, her third.
Now, Josh, at this point, if I'm Stewart County, I'm inching closer to her in my zone. I need to know where she is. She's knocked down 3 at this point. Be aware.
So Cheatham's widened the lead to 6. Nelson tries, and she knocks down a 3. Angie Nelson, her first bucket of the night, and it came at a big time.
And Josh, I would argue that right there, that answer from Stewart County is the biggest shot of the night, because Cheatham County has kind of thrown a couple of good punches in a row and coming back with an absolute haymaker right there in that three-pointer.
Mitchell, right wing, goes across the way. Orange. Back to Lee. Lee to Mitchell. Mitchell tries again. Too short off the mark. Newman gets the rebound for Stewart.
And Josh, Stewart County might have gotten away with one right there, leaving her open after she's knocked so many down. They got to be careful of that. They did a good job early in possession, but got to stay aware.
Newman back into the paint, tries to find help in Bizagno, but it's taken away by the Lady Cubs. Mitchell gives Weekly off the glass and good. And that's Weekly's first bucket. A little surprised it took this long to see it, with just under 2 minutes left to play in the first half. But of course, plenty of ball left to play, so I imagine we'll see more of that young lady.
Yeah, great job there by Weekly to let that player fly by.
And Dacus from 3, off the mark. And it hits the support beam up there, so it will be Cheatham ball.
And Josh, you know, Stewart County has had a lot of good possessions. They have just not had the luck of the ball falling in. Like I said, if you continue to do good things will happen. They just need to trust that offense, maybe pass a little bit more instead of dribbling so much, just to get yourself a better look, make the defense shift a little more.
So Lee gives to Orange in the corner. It's Hunter. Now 60 seconds to play in the first half. Lee bounce pass. Hunter lost it. Picked up by the Lady Rebels. It's Angie Nelson down the right side. Gives to Wallace. She pulls up from 3. No good. Rebounded by Montana Lee.
And Josh, I really love that take right there from Wallace. Just that aggressiveness.
And Lee mid-range off the glass, no good. But a foul will be called and Lee will shoot a couple. So Cam, something that stands out to me about this ball game so far, only one three-pointer made for Stewart County. We saw them against East Hickman. They were lighting it up. But Cam, we know they won't stay cold for long, and when this Stewart County team eventually heats up, look out.
Yeah, Josh, you know at some point those shots will start getting knocked down. But if you're Cheatham County, you got to start making your free throws. They have not shot well from the line tonight.
So Lee knocks down the second free throw. 20-14 your score. Stewart trails by 6. 30 seconds to play in the first half. Newman drives, and her shot is denied underneath.
And Josh, I mean, how many times have we seen, not just from the Hickman County games, but just in every game, Montana Lee is going to block your shot if you don't protect it with your body.
And a quick inbound, nominate Bridges with a tough two. And Bridges has been so dangerous inside the paint for these Lady Rebels. I expect to see more of her. Under 10 to play. Orange to Mitchell. Has it knocked loose. Down the floor, Newman lets it fly from three. No good off the mark. It looked good for a moment, but the shot misses, and that is how our first half will end. And at the end of our second quarter, your score, Cheatham County 20, Stewart County 16, plenty of ball left. We'll be taking a short intermission during the half, which gives you time to refresh, grab a beverage, and to prepare for the second half of basketball. And while you have this downtime, we encourage you to tell your friends about the stream so that they can also keep up with this regional championship game. But this game so far, I've been Josh Copley alongside Cameron Peters, and this broadcast is brought to you by the Stewart County Farm Bureau Office. Our thanks to Ben Cash for his support of this stream. We'll be back.
Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Tavern style pizza is our thing.
Why couldn't you be happy with deep dish like all the tourists? That's good.
And you just had to make it so crispy and delicious.
It's perfection.
They put the toppings all the way to the edge.
It's cutting the shareable square.
That's delicious.
What's your deal, Pizza Hut?
Your secret's out, Chicago. Try any of our large Chicago tavern-style recipes for just $12 each.
Hey, Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Sorry, Chicago. No one out pizza's the Hut.
Apology accepted.
So we are just under 3 minutes from resuming this regional championship game between the Stewart County Lady Rebels and the Cheatham Lady Cubs. Now, Cam, this was a game that saw the first half dominated by Sydney Mitchell of Cheatham County. She had 5 points in the first quarter, 6 points in the second, bringing her score total to 11 with 3 3-pointers made so far. So Cam, we look at the list of talent on this Cheatham County roster, we're not too terribly used to her being the #1 scorer. She's a great player, she's a great support player, great passer, but she's proving tonight that she can score when it matters most.
Yeah, Josh, and because of that, the debate is for Stewart County, what do we do defensively? Do we go to man and zero in on her and make sure she's quiet? This Cheatham County team is amazing against man defense, so that would be dangerous. The zone that Stewart County is playing right now is so good at baiting them into long passes. They're just not getting the tips right now. They're not getting out in transition like they want to because of it. If I'm Stewart County, I stick with what I'm doing, but I wouldn't be surprised if they switch it up for a possession or two to try to slow down Miss Mitchell if she's still hot coming out of this half.
But then looking over at the Stewart County side, as far as offense goes, 3-pointers have not been made very often, Cam. They only have one here tonight, and it was by Angie Nelson in the second quarter. The leading scorer tonight for the Lady Rebels is Nominee Bridges, who has 6 points on the night, and she has been so dangerous in the paint, and I expect her to use her more going forward. But I think if you're Stewart County, you can't lose confidence shooting the 3-ball, because that's how you get back into the game. That's how you take control of this game.
Yeah, Josh, you have to continue to shoot it so that Cheatham County feels as if you're still a threat to let it fly, right? And at some point, you will get yourself, like, they are a good enough shooting team that those shots will fall if they keep shooting it. So, and especially at this point in the game where you're only down by 4, right? At some point, those shots are going to fall. I'm expecting to see much more offense in this half.
As am I, Cam. What glares to me is McKaylee Wallace. She set the world on fire against East Hickman, but doesn't have a bucket yet in the game. So I'm expecting a huge second half from this young lady. But it's all about what Coach Gilbert Harper of Stewart wants to game plan, but also what Coach Jim Gibbs has in mind as well for his Cheatham County Lady Cubs. You said earlier it would be a coach's duel here tonight, and I think that's what we're seeing.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely going to be a chess match the rest of the game. How are we going to adjust, or should we adjust at all, is a big question right now, especially for Stewart County. So they come out in that same defense that they were in, and it's a good one.
Lead bounce pass, Hunter lost it, picked up by Wallace. So an early turnover forced by these Lady Rebels. So a pretty good start thus far, but can they capitalize?
And Josh, something else to note.
And Nelson drives, couldn't get the layup to go, but she's fouled and will shoot a couple.
But as I was going to say, something else to note is that Stewart County and Cheatham both don't have a super deep bench. They don't go too far into their bench. Cheatham County goes no more than 7. Stewart County goes no more than 7 or 8. So not a ton of rotation. So what kind of factor is fatigue going to play in this game, or is it at all?
So Angie Nelson knocks down both, cuts it to a 2-point game. So the story of this game might also be the efficiency battle from the free throw line.
Yeah, Josh, Cheatham County has shot under 50% so far in the game.
The ball's loose again, picked up by Emmy Orange, gives Mitchell from the free throw line, misses the 2, tipped out of bounds. Waiting for the official decision here. And they'll say it stays with the Lady Cubs. Lee inbounds, Orange in the left corner. Bounce pass, Weekly knocks down the 2.
Now, a chant that we haven't heard all year is, I'm blind, I'm deaf, I want to be a ref. The Stewart County fans over there just pulled it out, and I love that chant.
Of course, we mentioned earlier, both sides loud here tonight. And a turnover here. Down into the paint. And a tough 2 for Georgia Hunter.
And Josh, that's something that we've only seen a couple of times from Cheatham County, but they love to get out and be in transition. Not necessarily just run and gun, but be in transition, be in a constant just movement from defense to offense, and always keep you moving defensively because they'll never let you get settled.
Driving, Newman, bounce pass to Bridges. A great pass, give Newman the assist, and a great job by Bridges to capitalize with a tough 2 off the glass.
Josh, absolutely gorgeous offense there. I love a good drive and dish to the big man inside.
Bounce pass, Orange. And a loose ball, a foul will be called. And they'll get number 33, Jalen Newman. And a bucket for Gracie Bell Weekly. She has come alive in this third quarter with a couple of 2-point buckets.
And Josh, that's something I'm going to expect to see more of is her in this second half. She was really quiet.
Wallace from 3, off the mark, short. I thought for a moment a Cheatham County player might have gotten a hand on it, but they say it stays with Cheatham.
I
And the refs
believe
talk about it.
she
and
did.
a
She got
technical.
called for tech.
So Cam, I didn't see much from McKaylee Wallace on the floor there, but apparently the officials heard something that we could not.
So what I saw, if I was the ref, this is what I think I would have seen. So there was a box out as Sydney Mitchell knocks down the first. There was a box out. McKaylee Wallace was trying to get around the box out. Now, what the ref saw was a body hit the ground and McKaylee's arms extend. She was just trying to get, I don't think she shoved her out of violence. I don't think it should have been a tech, but nonetheless, it is called a tech because the ref saw a body hit the floor and arms extended.
So Mitchell takes advantage and knocks down both free throws, extending the Lady Cubs lead to 8. And Cheatham will stay in possession, knocked loose by Dacus, but Mitchell able to recover. Bounce pass to Orange, left wing, goes across the way to Lee. Lee floats it, Weekly knocks down the 2. So we knew, Cam, it would be a matter of time before Gracie Bell Weekly started to heat up from that mid-range 2.
Yeah, Josh, and she absolutely is. But going into this timeout, Stewart County's coach, if I am that coach, I want to tell them, like, hey, be disciplined. Don't, get an unnecessary tech. But we have more physicality than they do. That's the big thing that I notice between these two teams is that Cheatham County is a bit more of a finesse team. They like to play in rhythm. They're about just good, solid offense. They do a lot of things really well, but there's just no, and like that comes from their size. They're not just overwhelming physically. These Stewart County girls are a little bit more physical. I would argue slightly more athletic. So they can bring a little bit more of a physicality. If I'm the Stewart County coach, I'm saying use that physicality because I've seen multiple times when Cheatham County gets uncomfortable on offense is when we bump them, when we play tough defense on them. So take note of that.
So as this timeout break is ending, I want to give another reminder that this broadcast is brought to you by the Stewart County Farm Bureau office. Our thanks to Ben Cash for his support of this stream. A very special thank you to all of you tuning in here tonight, whether you're a fan of the Rebels or the Cubs or just a fan of basketball. We appreciate your support and viewership. And Stewart with the ball out of the timeout. Nice spin by Newman, tries to dish to Bridges, but it goes between the legs and out of bounds. Cheatham ball. So Cam, they tried drawing up that same play we saw have success earlier, but unable to get anything off of it that time.
If I'm a Stewart County, I need more movement off of the basketball. I need screens to be set. I need cut actions to happen. Right now, they're a little stale with the basketball because there's not a lot of movement off ball. If they can increase that, they can increase their score very easily.
So Mitchell gives to Orange, met by Dacus. Now Orange thought about pulling up, but dishes back out to Mitchell. A bullet pass to Hunter. Gives out quickly to Orange. Knocked loose, though. Dacus comes up with it, so a turnover forced by Stewart County. Onto Wallace, the volleyball line. Gives left to Newman. Newman floats it. Bridges in the paint. Dribbles in. Wants to pull up, but has to give back out, looking for Angie Nelson. Nobody home as it sails out of bounds. Cheatham ball.
And Josh, a really good double coming from the wing there from Montana Lee. She's easily one of the most intelligent players that we've seen. Right there's another good example.
So Orange out to the left. Goes across the way to Lee.
And Josh, you know, Cheatham County at this point up double digits off that slow offense. It's working well.
And Lee has it knocked loose. Ball on the floor. It's kicked out to Hunter. Now to Orange. Now Mitchell tries from three. She knocks it down. Sydney Mitchell now has a three in each quarter of this game so far with 3:25 to go in the third.
And Josh, and like in a situation like that with that madness happening, I understand it's very difficult to find her in amongst the madness.
And they'll get Georgia Hunter on the reach-in foul as Newman was dribbling to her left, or to her right rather.
But you do have to continue to be aware of her. Understand, like at this point, I would rather try to stop her and make the other girls beat me.
So Newman top of the key. Pulls up from three. Short. Out of bounds. Cheatham ball.
Josh, just not. I feel like this is not a very typical performance from Cheatham County shooting-wise. From the floor, they have not shot great, and I hate to see that because they're a good. Yeah, Stewart County. I apologize. Stewart County is a good shooting team, but like I said,
Mitchell, shot no good. A rare miss there by Sydney Mitchell, and a jump ball forced as it was Angie Nelson and Montana Lee doing battle for the ball. The possession arrow will favor Stewart.
For a second there, I couldn't tell if she just made a Carmelo Anthony net doesn't move shot or just barely nicked it.
So Stewart needing to get something going on offense. Newman drives left. Now into the paint, spins. Shot is up, no good. Foul though, and she'll shoot a couple. And the foul will be called against number 14, Gracie Bell Weekly.
Fouls on Weekly, first, second, team's third.
Some big shots here, and Newman sinks the first. That's Newman's first point of the third quarter, and she finds her second. Two and a half minutes to play in the third quarter in this regional championship game. Orange dribbles up, gives left. Hunter from the corner, shot too strong, picked up by Wallace. Wallace looking for help and finds Newman.
Josh, a set's being called right here by Stewart County. I like that. When you're struggling offensively, get into a set, get a rotation going, get an open look. I like that call from the coach.
Dacus wants to find Nelson underneath on a cut. Well guarded, though, by Orange as she gets a hand on it and tips it out of bounds. So it will stay with Stewart. Nelson bounce pass. Wallace quickly over to Newman. She dribbles left back up top near the logo. Newman wants to dribble left. Screen by Bridges. It's held up by Weekly. Tries to step through. The shot won't fall. Weekly gets the rebound, and a foul will be called on Jalen Newman of Stewart County.
Fouls on Newman, first, second, team's third.
And Josh, Stewart County is just so close to having a really good game. They just cannot get a ball to fall in.
Of course, there's no worse time to have that sort of misfortune than in the regional championship, but still plenty of time to turn it around as Lee has it in the right corner. Lost handle of it. And they'll say it was knocked out of bounds by Stewart. So Lee will inbound right in front of the Stewart County student section.
And as you said, Josh, I mean, 11 points down is not that big of a deficit. So Stewart County's definitely not out of this ball game. Shots just have to start falling.
Mitchell guarded closely by Newman, gives to Orange. Now to Lee. Lee floats it back to Orange. Bounce pass looking for Weekly on the cut. Nothing there, well guarded by Wallace. And now it's Newman up the floor. Newman drives hard, kicks it out to Dacus. Take a step through that left-handed hook shot, falls.
That's that shot, Josh. If right now, that is the shot that they have made the most. If I'm the coach, I'm setting up a play where she gets a screen on the wing to shoot that shot. If somebody is making a shot consistently and you're struggling scoring, give them that ball.
And Cam, that Faith Dacus sky hook shot, one of the more fun shots we've seen all tournament.
Certainly, and I mean, it is an awesome shot. It's consistent. She's been making it almost every time she's taken it.
And again, Stewart intercepts the pass, and a jump ball is called. It looked like Jalen Newman took a shot to the face. She seems to be okay, though. Coach Harper was looking for a foul on the Stewart County side. Nothing called, though. And Cheatham has it. Lee quickly into Weekly. Shot blocked. She gets the own rebound. Another jump ball will be called. Now the possession arrow swings back to Stewart. So 10 seconds remaining in this third quarter. Stewart looking in it with a bang. Newman dribbles right, drives, Bridges. Can't get the shot to go. And that's how our third quarter will end. So we have 8 minutes to decide a regional champion. Your score, Cheatham 33, Stewart 24. We'll be right back.
Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Tavern style pizza is our thing.
Why couldn't you be happy with deep dish like all the tourists? That's good.
And you just had to make it so crispy and delicious.
It's perfection.
They put the toppings all the way to the edge.
It's cut in the shareable square.
That's delicious.
What's your deal, Pizza Hut?
Your secret's out, Chicago. Try any of our large Chicago tavern-style recipes for just $12 each.
Hey, Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Sorry, Chicago. No one out pizzas the Hut.
Apology accepted.
Welcome back. This WNKX presentation of Tournament High School Basketball is brought to you by the Stewart County Farm Bureau Office. Our thanks to Ben Cash for his support of this live stream. So Cheatham will start off with the ball in this fourth quarter. 9 points separate these two teams. Orange in the corner. Splash!
And Josh,
Orange
just an excellent job drawing up that play right there from Coach Gibbs. That's something not utilized enough as an offside screen on his zone right into a three.
Bounce past Bridges. This time she gets it.
And Josh, we have seen Bridges drive in and dish that ball off so effectively tonight. If I'm Cheatham County, I'm doing two things. I'm putting Dacus on the wing. I'm setting a ball screen, running a pick and roll with the player on the opposite side. So she's got two options. She can swing it to Dacus, or she can dump it off for a layup, depending on what happens. If Dacus gets the ball, she drives in and hits that shot.
Orange left wing. Gives back up top to Lee. Mitchell looking for help and finds Weekly. Hands off, wide open, and the shot is missed by Georgia Hunter. So a fortunate break there for the Lady Rebels.
Josh, if you're Cheatham County, you have got to capitalize right there. Just a wide open layup, just completely whiffed on.
Nelson dribbles at the free throw line. Nice bounce pass to Bridges. The two won't go, loose ball. And it will stay with Stewart County. So Cam, that was John Stockton-esque right there. What a pass.
Yeah, Josh, that was nasty right there.
So Newman will throw it in from the baseline in front of her own cheerleaders. Floats it out to Nelson, who runs it down. Gives, Dacus drives. Over Weekly, shot won't go. Bridges with the rebound. Denied and picked up by Dacus. Was looking out for Nelson, but Lee gets the takeaway. Goes behind the back, down the floor. And Jalen Newman in hot pursuit runs right through the double doors.
Now, Josh, this officiating crew, great job playing even right there. On this end, one got clobbered. On the other end, another got clobbered. So great job playing even.
And a turnover forced by Stewart. Newman down the floor in a hurry. Gives, Dacus in the corner. No good. Rebounded by Newman. She goes up. Count it! And one for Jalen Newman. And she will go to the line to try to cap off a three-point play when Stewart needed it most. And they'll get Montana Lee. Her first foul of the ball game as Carly Bazagno checks in. Nominee Bridges comes out. And what that shot does as well, not only does it draw them closer, it gets their crowd fired up as well. And having that rowdy crowd behind you can do wonders for a team's confidence. And Neely Cook, the freshman, also subs in for Stewart County, and a timeout is called by Cheatham. So 5:36 to play in this fourth quarter as these two head coaches look to scheme up some of the most important plays of the entire season with a regional title on the line.
Josh, for Cheatham County, I can only imagine that it's prioritizing taking care of the basketball, right? It's making an offense that makes sure that you're protecting the ball, but you're also getting open looks inside the lane. They missed on one earlier, but that's not something that's going to happen a lot. If you are Stewart County, it is getting, for me, it's getting movement and a lot of it off ball so that your players on ball can have an easier time. They like to drive the basketball, right? They dribble a good bit, but I like it because it's downhill. The only issue is there's not a lot of movement off ball to keep the other defenders occupied. If they move off ball, that drive's going to work well.
So Orange right wing, Newman, not giving her any room to breathe as she gives over to Mitchell. Lee floats it. What a pass to Orange. Can't capitalize as Bazagno gets the rebound. But Mayo rips it away. And another jump ball is called. So Lee inbounds, fires a bullet to Weekly. And a foul is called as her shot is no good. So Weekly heads to the line. The foul is against Jalen Newman, the junior. And Cam, that is Newman's third, of course. You're starting to creep towards that dreaded number 5, but with only 5 minutes to play, probably not too much of a factor at this juncture.
Yeah, Josh, and she's a disciplined enough player that I'm sure she's going to, keep that in the back of her mind, like, hey, I do have to be careful, but I don't think it's going to cause her to slow down any.
Weekly goes 1 for 2 on free throws. Newman gets the rebound. She flies down the floor. The shot denied by Orange, and it goes off of Newman. So what a defensive play there by Emmy Orange. And Cam, I would argue that young lady has been the difference maker defensively for Cheatham.
Yes, she really has, Josh, and that's something that is really awesome to see for her because she hasn't been, we don't call her name a lot. A lot of times it's Montana getting blocks, but tonight she's been all over it.
Weekly steps through, gets the 2 off the glass. That's Weekly's 6th point of this fourth quarter as she extends the lead back to 10 points, 39-29 from 3, no good. Tipped away into the hands of Cook. Now out to Dacus on the baseline, looking for help. Gets it to Cook, dribbles left. Nelson drives, pulls up from 2, won't go. Rebounded by Lee.
And not a bad look from anybody there on Stewart County. Again, just having trouble with that rim, bouncing it off.
With 4:15 to play, and Mitchell, of course, taking her time. They're fine with running the clock down. Coach Harper of Stewart yelling at his girls to play a bit tighter defense, try to force a turnover. Weekly floats it to Lee. Lee, left-handed layup, falls. And that is Montana Lee's first points since the second quarter. And another timeout is called by Stewart County with 3:56 to go.
And Josh, if you're Stewart County, you have got to play with a sense of urgency, particularly on the defensive end. I mentioned earlier the physicality advantage that they have over this Cheatham County team. I will say the refs have let them play rough sometimes. They've let them play a little soft sometimes. You don't know necessarily what to expect, but you do know this. You have to beat them with hustle and with physicality if you want to get back in this ball game. They can make a comeback. They have the talent. They have the ability. That's not a question. The question is doing the little things right, not turning the ball over, getting extra rebounds, extra possessions.
And part of that will be increasing their efficiency from beyond the three-point line. And Wallace does just that. Her first points of the game come from beyond the three-point line.
And Josh, like you said, right on cue. Now, something that we saw against East is this little half-court trap from Stewart County. It's a pretty good defense if they can get back.
Weekly looking for Orange, out to Lee, now to Mitchell. And that was the first three for Stewart County since back in the second quarter when Angie Nelson buried one. Mitchell fires it to Lee in the paint, gives Weekly from two, no good. But Lee gets the rebound, out to Orange from three. Got it! Off the glass, Emmy Orange.
And Josh, that comes from something I just mentioned is the offensive rebound, the defensive rebounding from Stewart County.
Wallace, no good. It looked on target, but doesn't get a favorable fall there. And Cheatham gets the rebound with 2:45 to play. Orange gives Weekly in that left corner, goes up top to Mitchell. Pump fakes a three, drives. Had it knocked loose, but a foul is called against Stewart. And they'll get number 21, Angie Nelson, the senior.
And she was an off-ball defender right there, Josh. I might have missed it, but nonetheless, foul called.
And the first free throw made by Sydney Mitchell. Her first point in this fourth quarter of play. Ellie Mayo subbing out for Cheatham. Georgia Hunter back in. And this second free throw falls for Mitchell. Tries to find Bridges, but taken away by Weekly. Weekly hands to Mitchell at the logo. Dake is playing very aggressive defense. They're almost knocked it loose. Now it's Lee, guarded by Newman, dribbles in. Bounce pass, Weekly off the glass. Another two for Weekly.
Josh, Stewart County switches to man. I would have liked to have seen that switch a little bit earlier. Try to cause more turnovers. That's the best way to do it at this point in the ballgame.
Newman drives, tries to put up a two, won't go, but she's fouled. Montana Lee, the guilty party. So just under 2 minutes to play in this girls region championship matchup between two very talented teams.
Now, Josh, I will say this. The tough thing about Cheatham County is when you play man defense, they have Montana Lee. I have yet to see somebody as good at picking apart a man defense as Montana Lee. And that goes for either gender this year in high school basketball. She picks it apart, maybe the best I've seen.
And inbounded, tipped by Newman, and it falls right back into the hands of Gracie Weekly. So Lee directing traffic, left side of the floor. Drives into the paint, now gives back out. And Cheatham just content with running this clock down. Mitchell near the logo, back to Orange. And a foul is called. They'll get number 21, Angie Nelson.
Fouls on number 21, Nelson. Her second, team's third.
And Cam, with a minute and 20 seconds to play, things looking dire for the Stewart County Lady Rebels.
Yeah, Josh, they're going to have to get a turnover soon and then knock one down from deep to get back in this thing.
Orange gives to Lee, and Nelson has to foul to stop the clock with 1 minute and 6 seconds.
21, Nelson. Her third, team's fourth.
Josh, Stewart County just waiting a while to foul them, and there they go.
And it looked like Jalen Newman caught an elbow to the jaw there. So the Stewart County fan base not all too happy about that one, but whenever you're hand fighting for a ball, Cam, those are the things that can happen.
Yeah, Josh. I mean, it's gonna get physical, and it's gonna get physical quick. And part of it is just frustration from not even playing a bad game for Stewart County. Like, if you look at the scoreboard, you're like, oh, it's a little bit of a rough. It hasn't been. They just haven't been able to make a basket, and that's tough to see. Both teams a little turnover prone, so it's not just that. It just wasn't going in.
So Stewart trying to get some quick points here. Newman drives over Montana Lee, shot no good. Rebounded by Weekly, and a quick foul from Newman. So 50 seconds remain in this ball game. And the Cheatham players, coaches, and fans can smell that regional championship title. Weekly knocks down the first. And Cam, this has been a fourth quarter dominated by Gracie Bell Weekly. What a performance by this young lady in crunch time.
Yeah, Josh, we knew it was a matter of time, and her and Montana Lee is a pick and roll partner. They're so good against man that you knew once they switched to that, she'd get the ball a lot.
Driving, layup no good by Nelson. Gives out to Hunter, now to Lee. And a foul is called against McKaylee Wallace. So with 30 seconds to go, Weekly back at the free throw line. Looking to add on to this already incredible fourth quarter performance. And she sinks the first. So a full team substitution here for Stewart County. And I believe that is Coach Harper waving the white flag.
Yeah, Josh, you know, you hate to see it. A team that has competed well all night. They've done a lot of really good things. They gave up a few too many second chances and just couldn't make shots tonight.
And Orange, a takeaway shot, no good. Hunter gives up top. And the clock will run down. And it will expire here from J.E. Cisco. And the Cheatham County Lady Cubs are on top of the regional mountain. They are your region champions by a final score of 52-33. A very valiant effort by the Stewart County Lady Rebels, but Cam, Cheatham just happened to be on this night.
Yeah, Josh, and a lot of it was Cheatham County did a very solid job all night, and Stewart County just had lapses a little bit more offensively. You hate to see that because they're a very talented team that played very well tonight. They should be, if I'm them, I'm not ashamed of my performance at all. They they put the best product they could out tonight. The shots just weren't falling, and that's a part of the game, Josh. It's just a part of the game.
So looking at our stat sheet here, I mean, a 20-plus point performance from Gracie Bell Weekly. 18 points for Sydney Mitchell. So 2 outstanding offensive performances here by these 2 young ladies. And looking over at the Stewart County side, they also had some point producers here tonight. Faith Dacus had a respectable evening. Newman had a respectable evening. Nominee Bridges, she made the most of her minutes on the floor in the paint. She was dominant there as well and was one of the leading producers for this Stewart County team. But Cam, there were just so many times where Stewart was taking good shots, had open looks, but the shots just weren't falling. And that's the nature of basketball. Sometimes things don't go your way, but if you're Stewart County, especially these Stewart County seniors, you wish it wouldn't have happened tonight.
But Josh, the beautiful thing is that they had won up to this point. They still have basketball to play. And because of the performance they had tonight, the shooting percentages won't stay like that, right? The shooting splits won't be that rough again. If they go out and play a game like they played tonight, they can compete with anybody that I have seen.
Now, Cam, we know having to go on the road for sub-state, which is what Stewart's going to have to do, it's difficult. You hate playing on the road, especially in the postseason. Fans will be packed. It'll be loud. It's going to be hostile. But we also know this performance tonight from the Lady Rebels was an outlier. We know, as you said, they won't be shooting like this every night. So if they bring their A game, it doesn't matter where they have to travel to. They will definitely put up a fight, if not win it, and get themselves a ticket to the state tournament.
Yeah, absolutely, Josh. And they're plenty talented enough to do so. Without a doubt, I won't be surprised if they're there.
And now, Cam, looking over to our victors from the evening, the Cheatham County Lady Cubs. A big win here tonight. And, Cam, it just seems like these Lady Cubs are able to win despite their performances. We saw back to Camden. They only won by 3 points. A very ugly game, truthfully, but they still found a way to win. And that's what great teams do. They find ways to win against all odds. So, Cam, we know Cheatham will be able to host their sub-state game, and things are looking pretty good. The odds are in their favor for a state tournament visit.
Yeah, Josh, absolutely. We've seen them, 4 or 5 times already this year. They're a team that plays so in sync. They have a cohesion that's very tough to find. They're a good basketball team with possibly the best player we have watched all year in Montana Lee.
So once again, congratulations to these Cheatham County Lady Cubs on winning the regional championship, but the job's not finished for either team. And here at WNKX, we wish both of these teams the very best heading into the sub-state. And your final score from the night, Cheatham 52, Stewart 33. But folks, our week's not done yet. Tomorrow night we will be back here in J.E. Siska Memorial Gymnasium at Hickman County High School for the region championship game between the Hickman County Bulldogs and the Harpeth Indians. It should be a fantastic game. These teams have met several times before, and we can't wait. If we thought tonight was amazing, it's only going to get better from here. And I want to give one last very special shout out because this broadcast was brought to you by the Stewart County Farm Bureau Office. Our thanks is extended to Ben Cash for his support of this stream. But folks, until tomorrow, we thank you for tuning in, whether you're a Rebel fan, a Cub fan, or just a fan of basketball. It means the world to us, and we hope to see you back tomorrow for the boys' regional championship game. But until then, from our broadcast colleague Cameron Peters, I've been Josh Copley. We must bid you adieu, goodbye, and good night.